Hello, welcome to McBoss Capital channel. My name is Michael Chu. This video will talk about a quick market recap video for this week, ending August 9th, 2024. We have a very eventful week. So we started the week very with the Nikkei dropping like over 10% overnight there, overnight here. And then we opened really weak on Monday morning, as the carry yen the yen trade the carry yen trade unwind, and stocks sold off really early in the morning, and we hit like if we look at the daily here, Nasdaq, we hit the 200-day moving average right here, but we rebound, not quite the whole way, but like slightly above the halfway mark. And then throughout the week, Tuesday we rebound a little bit, so it was a positive day. Wednesday we have a reversal here, so which is kind of negative because it was going well and then it kind of came back down. And then Thursday we have a very surprising strong day, and we make a new high this week. And then Friday we continue that, and we close also pretty at the top range. Now, so that's what happened this week in terms of the action here. Now this downtrend is now 4 weeks old. So we go back to the weekly chart. You can see it's 4 weeks now. So if we start from the rally here in October 2022, we have a strong uptrend. And what's happening is, as it moves up, you see 19 weeks up, and then that was the first big correction, 13 weeks down, and then 21 weeks up, 4 weeks down. So this one was a smaller correction, or might not even be 10% yet. And then this one definitely over 10%, and it did hit the 200-day moving average, which is the black line. So here's the first time. Here's this second time it didn't hit it, it came somewhere near to it, and then this time we did hit it, and so that's where we are at right now. So the question, and so as you can see, the bar on the week, it's the candlestick shows it closed all the way to the top. Does it mean anything? It looks good. At least a lot of people who have sold now, are thinking, hey, is this going to bounce back, and so forth, right? So a few scenarios could happen here. One is we start trending down again, right? So this downtrend here, if you draw the slope, it's a very severe slope because it just corrected so fast. So we expect it to bounce back towards the slope line before it may continue lower. Now, with that being said, there is some stocks setting up. So in the stocks video, we're going to talk about some of the stocks setting up. Whether they're actually going to work, I don't know. But there is some, but not a lot. So there's a lot more stocks down than setting up properly. But given time, maybe, right? So again, are there going to be more news about this, yen trade, USD dollar yen trade, and are there going to be more unwinding of US stocks and stuff, or assets? I don't know. No one knows. Some people think it's over. Some people think there's more turbulence coming. But I think the extreme has happened, right? And we'll look at the wicks in a second, because it shot to like I think a third all-time high or something. So the fear was there, right? So from a psychology standpoint, everyone's fearful right now. Probably a lot of people don't want to touch this market at this moment. But like I say, I am seeing signs, some positive signs of setting up in some areas. But anyhow, so coming back to this daily chart here on Nasdaq, we have come down 4 weeks, and each time we get rejected throughout this downtrend, we have been rejected at the 10-day moving average, which is the green line. And so here you can see it got rejected here. It's very tiny candlestick, but it basically closed weak, right? By the end of the day, it's at the bottom of the range. Here's another one right here. So it went up and then, you know, tried to go above the 10-day, the green line, and even the pink line, which is the 21-day. But then guess where it closed? It closed all the way near the bottom, right? So this time, so the downtrend doesn't go in straight line, right? It kind of goes down really hard, comes back up, goes down really hard, comes back up, and then this was the last, this was the 3-day route, from the Thursday, Friday, Monday sell off, right? And then the Monday being this week, early this week, and now we bounce back, right? So it doesn't come down in a linear fashion, but it does come down, pretty strong pace right now. This is the slope, which is, you can see, it's like greater than 45-degree down slope, right? So it is a very fast-paced drop. So here we go, and we're gonna see if we can, pass this 10-day moving average here, right? And even if it does, we still have to look at the 21-day. A lot of people follow the 21-day for Nasdaq, so that will give them more confidence if they can, break both of those lines, right? So anyhow, so that's something to look forward to build your confidence if this rally is for real. Now, why is this so important? If we go back to, say, 2020, and we had the pandemic, and we have a very similar type of correction. Now this one, we all know, it was dropped over 30% and also very fast. You can see the slope is tremendous, like really, like, I don't know, 60-degree angle or something. So then it bounced here, and you can see here it found reversal here. It reversed from the 10-day moving slope, and then now it dropped here really fast. And then you can see here, it doesn't have any power, and then it gapped down right here really hard, and then we went back up again, and then here we reverse again. This is the last time it reversed from the bottom, and then it tested the low. It actually broke the low there again. So people, so this happened really fast. This all happened again also in about 4 weeks. And then since that time, you can see here, it came back up very fast as well. So I think this was related to the Fed cutting rates around that time probably. And so that, so the Fed, obviously step in and help save the economy in a way, and cut rates like really fast, 1% or something, I think. And anyhow, so is the Fed gonna step in? So far, we haven't seen any indication of that. So that's one thing. But, again, for the Fed to step in, they have to see, like, really bad things happening in the economy, right? Something that they can see in the coming future. So it's in that sense that they're a little bit different, right? The scenarios, this even though this carry trade could continue, but it may not be as bad, right? As the that hurt the economy that fast, right? So whereas pandemic, we all know what happened. So that's so totally different things, but the chart looks very similar. And who knows, right, what the Japanese government will do as well. So not sure they'll do anything, or if they're gonna even raise rates even faster coming up like that. That's gonna become a issue, right? So those are possible turbulence still coming. So it's not gonna be, even if it rebounds, it's not gonna be a smooth line up. But anyhow, so what we want to see is like, okay, so it break above the 10-day, and then it comes up here, and 21-day, you see it got challenge here, reverse right here, came back down again, and then this time right here, it broke above that pink line, right? And then eventually it goes up to the 50-day line and so forth, and then the uptrend, is pretty much confirmed by that time. So we go back to present day again. So we have lots of work to do still. So again, this is the 10-day slope, 21-day slope, and here's the 50-day, which is starting to trend downwards as well. So though this big institutions tend to come in at the red line, which is the 50-day moving average. So yeah, so from a stock perspective, if they're above the 50-day moving average, the red line, generally that's considered, you know, more positive, right? Because that means that institutions will more likely accumulate that stock versus ones that are below that, right? So yeah, so no one knows what's going to happen with this, whether some people even gave the scenario where it could be like a double bottom type of correction here. So it might come down, goes up, and then comes back down again, right? Like something like that, right? So that's also possible, right? You know, because that will, you know, trick a lot of people thinking that this is near recovery, but then it actually fell again, and so the, you know, it's unknown. We just started like first week of August. Now we go into the second week. The good news is a lot of earnings have came out on S&P. So in general, when I look at the numbers, a lot of them are lower, like in terms of the growth side. But like I said, there's still opportunity. And so the key is, like, you know, for those ones that are doing better on the earnings side, are they gonna, you know, kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't want to say like spark a rally, but like, you know, maybe slowly, right? Jump back up. So that's something to watch for. So make sure you follow the next stocks video I'm gonna post. I just want to finish off here. So yeah, so this is, again, with 4 weeks down. I think we are expecting some bounce here, just because short term we have seen so much negativity. So but that 10-day moving average is going to be 10 and even 21-day will be very critical. Here is a S&P chart, very similar, 4-week downtrend, and we also close at the top of the week here. Dow Jones. So this one, here's the top, the peak here. Kind of slide down as well to the 200-day moving average. So again, close at the top. So this one is much closer to the 50-day. So here's the 50-day line, still in the uptrend mode. So this one looks, you know, slightly healthier. Then we have Russell. So this one also looks somewhat similar to Dow. So the 10-week is still sloping upward, and then you have this drop to the 200-day and come back up and close at the top of the range. And look at daily. So this was the bad break from more than a week ago, Thursday, and then Friday, Monday came all the way. So this was a big, you know, drop. I mean, those 3 days were, you know, pretty much hurt pretty much on most stocks in the market. So again, where we at? Well, we are near 2100 again. We're gonna try to pass this moving average red line again and see if it has power here, right? So again, I think in general, if we don't see any macro news that are bad, I think the market will slowly recover. It's not going to be like straight going up. It's going to be lots of turbulence still. In general, market, if we're still in a downtrend, like let's say a correction mode, we usually will see market open strong but close weak. Vice versa, in the market uptrend, they tend to open weak but close strong, right? So we look at the 5-minute chart here for the week. Maybe we'll switch to 15 just to see the whole week. And we can use Russell or Nasdaq. I think they're both very similar in terms of direction. They're very similar right now. I mean, they're all very similar. So that's one thing that has changed recently, is that both all the indexes are now seems to align in terms of direction, versus a couple of weeks ago, I think we talked about this, where Nasdaq was, you know, trending down, but, you know, Russell was still trending up, right? So again, so here's, you know, I like doing this exercise. So here's a Monday gap down right here, and then it closes, you know, above, like even though it was a gap down, if you don't count the gap down, we actually close above the opening first price here. Then we follow up the next day, same thing, we close above the opening price here. And then the third day was the reversal day, which is we open strong but we close as weak, right? And then Thursday we actually open right here but we close even stronger. So that was a really healthy day. We gap up, we close even stronger. And then Friday, pretty much it was almost a wash here, like pretty much like, you know, we're same amount, same level. So out of the week, like, you know, when you don't count the Monday gap down, which is that was the scary moment. A lot of people, if they were scared, they would have sold. But the overall the week, I mean, besides Wednesday, you have more closing stronger days than closing weaker days, right? So you know, 3-to-1 ratio, and this one, let's just discount that one, the Friday. So overall, like, I mean, you know, this looks healthy, like in terms of direction. But again, this is just a short sample, small sample of, you know what, 5 days here. Like if we continue next week with this same trend, I would say the market might have a high chance of recovering. And again, we'll look at the stock side, right? Because we want to look at the outperforming stocks, ones that are showing strong relative strength. Are they also going to continue the uptrend movement? Because that's what really matters. Because if you're buying stocks, that's what matters, right? Whatever stocks you're holding, you want to watch for that. So yeah. So the last thing, a couple more things I want to talk about. It's going to be a shorter video this week just because there's not much economic news. So the WIX was really the big thing here, right? Like, you know, we jumped to over 60. I think in history they said this is the third highest number, which is interesting, right? Like how, so here's, you know, 60, and then we have the pandemic, right? We jumped to over 80s, and then we have the financial crisis, right? So right here. So those are the three biggest WIX numbers, I think, in history. I think, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Like, it could be something else. But yeah. So it's just a huge jump right here. You know, if we look at weekly, I think. So let's say this was the pandemic one. So it came down pretty fast after that. But the pandemic one, we know the market recovered, right? Pretty strongly. So, and then there's some little turmoil like weeks later. So and this also was a fast reversal too, because it happened on one day. So that's that. Yeah, so, you know, again, if there was so much fear at that moment and people have sold, like, that could signal a potential bottom short term here. All right, so that's WIX. The other thing I want to talk about is we go to the market trend here, and you know, IBD still basically says we are in correction mode, and 0 to 20% allocation is, you know, kind of most you should have. So yeah, we have stocks dive and Monday here, and then we have solid gains on Tuesday, index reverse lower on Wednesday, Nasdaq leads market rebound on Thursday, and stocks end day higher, trim weekly loss. So that's what happened during the week. And from an accumulation distribution standpoint, you can see here's the number of stocks that we're tracking here that have been accumulated. So we do see some pickup in accumulation on stocks, right? 184 stocks by the end of the week. On the distribution side, you know, we saw the highest selling on distribution on Wednesday, 476 stocks, and then down to 265 by the end of the week. So we still have a lot more distribution than accumulation, but the good thing is, like, we're seeing some accumulation. On the industry group side, you know, you have 0 industry group being accumulated on Monday, but as the week goes, it also increases to 40 by the end of the week. And from the distribution side, we see like also the industry groups jumped to 99 on Wednesday and dropped back down to 59. On the sector side, you can see this is a net accumulation minus distribution. So there's way more selling distribution in terms of stocks in each sector. And the only one, like by end of the week, like only one that came even net positive was technology and financial, and health also improved. So overall, yeah, so technology improved, financial also improved, commodities didn't improve too much. Health did. Health, you can see it went back down to -1. In fact, this whole week you can see health also did okay, like, you know, compared to other sectors. And then industrial didn't really recover much, and retail also didn't recover too much as well, a little bit. So yeah, so that's it for this week. In terms of next week, we have PPI come out Tuesday. So that headline CPI may rise, might be 22.6% year over year. CPI data on Wednesday, and that one is supposed to be at 3% annualized. And then we have retail sales data on Thursday, and Empire State Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Survey on Thursday as well. So yeah, keep watching Nikkei overnight. I'm not sure if the turbulence over, but I saw a chart where they on Twitter or X where they put the overlay of the USD over Japan dollar yen versus the Nasdaq. The chart looks pretty much identical, so it seems like Nasdaq seems to follow that chart quite well right now in terms of correlation. We have earnings on Walmart, Deere, New, and on. I'm going to go over the big mega caps quickly here. So in terms of the semiconductor group, we actually have a positive week, which is like, this is quite interesting, right? So we not only recovered, but we actually went positive, so that's really good. So we look at the daily chart, we did bounce back pretty strong. We're still under the 10-day, as you can see right here, the green line, very similar to the index chart. So we'll see what's going to happen, because the chip sector have been hit hardest the most so far, and so, but now, you know, if the market were to recover, they might be the ones that recover the most, because they have dropped the most, right? So 20%, even after this week, still 20% down. And then so we can look at Nvidia in that mega cap area. Again, Nvidia very similar to the index chart. So nothing out of ordinary here. We're still on this downtrend, so we're still under the 10-day. So we'll see how it reacts this coming week. Then we have, let's look at the software area, IGV. You can see it also bounce back. So this one is above the 10-day, so that's interesting. Also have a very positive week. So, and this one down a lot less than the semiconductor group. So only 7% now from the high, which is very interesting, because this is like recover almost half of this drop here, and that's yeah, that's a really good level in terms of the bounce back so far. So I would watch this pretty close. I think this could lead the market as well. So let's jump to the individual stocks. Let's go to Microsoft. So Microsoft hasn't shown much difference here. They're still on the downtrend. So this one is a little bit behind IGV as a group. Let's look at Amazon. This one is also still on this downtrend below the 10-day. Let's look at Google. This one also very similar. So I think Meta was the only one that is looking pretty good. They had good earnings, and that was the bounce right here. It did pull back because of the global sell-off there, and then now it's moving up right nicely here. So yeah, so it's starting to trend upward, and so you know, this is the trend right now. So if it continues, this could be the first one out of the gate. You know, this is the old buy point, this is the newer buy point. So somewhere around this area would be the breakout here from traditional buy point. So that's Meta. Let's look at Apple. So Apple also bounced pretty strong. I think weekly, okay, so it's still a down week, but you can see it recovered quite significantly as well. So this one also acting pretty strong. But it is slightly above the 10-day now. So looks pretty good. Tesla is also below the downtrend line still, the 10-day. So yeah. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this, please thumbs up and subscribe. And yeah, stay tuned for my next video. We're gonna dive into the different groups, industry groups and sectors on what is moving right now, and most of them are moving because of earnings recently. So whether they would become the new leaders, we'll see. But at least we want to kind of pay attention to see potential sales. Thanks.